Looking at this, I'll go over this one more time. They took a 2-day road trip, and on the second day, they drove 3/4 the distance they traveled on the first day. So they drove for 2 days. And on day 2, they drove slightly less. They drove 3/4, which is less than 1. So they drove less on the second day, right? What what are the possibilities here? Are there more than one possible is there more than one possible distance? Yes or no? Is there more than one possibility here? What do you think? Let's think about this. It didn't give us any other information than they drove for 2 days and they drove 3/4 the distance on the second day. So the possibilities here are endless. We could have an infinite number of distances that they drove, right? It doesn't give us any kind of information to give us a hint as far as how they drove. It just wants to see if we're thinking. We could have any distance. They could have driven 100 miles on the first day, and then on the second day they drove 3/4 of that. So 3/4 of 100 is 75, right? 3/4 times 100 equals 75. So they could have driven 100 on the first day and 75 on the second day, right? They could have driven 400. They could have driven 400 on the first day. And then 3/4 of 400 is 300, right? 3/4 times 400 equals 300. So they could have driven 400 on the first day and 300 on the second day. They could have driven any number of distances. The possibilities are infinite here, okay? The only thing that we are thinking about that they wanted us to kind of think about in this problem is you got day 1. If we're writing an expression here, day 1 plus 3/4 of day 1. That would be our expression for this solve and discuss it problem. The distance they drove on day 1 plus 3/4 of that distance, right? Because 3/4 of, and we know of means times, 3/4 of the distance on day 1 was the distance on day 2. This is day 2, right? But they told us that day 2 equals 3/4 of day 1. Does that make sense, everybody? Do you have any questions? There are infinite possibilities here, right? If they drove, let's say they drove, I don't know, yeah, let's say they drove 400 miles. 400 plus, if they drove 400 miles on day 1, then day 2 is 3/4 of 400, okay? Well, 4 goes into 400 100 times, right? So this is just 3 times 100. So their total road trip in this scenario would be 700 miles. They drove 400 of it on day 1 and 300 of it on day 2. And if they're driving in a car this small, they probably, man, that would not be a very good car to take a road trip in, if you ask me. Cramming the whole family into a Mini Cooper would not be very fun. Hopefully they, I don't know, they need to get a bigger car. They're going to drive that long. Being crammed in a little car with a bunch of people is just not fun. All right, let's go on to the next problem. Let's go on to example 1. We'll watch the intro video here, and then we'll do the problem.
How can properties of operations be used to add linear expressions? Think about this question during the lesson. Delilah signs up for a health club and a rock climbing gym. What expression represents her total fitness cost after M months? Here's a hint. Each bill can be represented with an expression. Let's use bar diagrams to represent the situation.
All right, I'm going to pause it for a second. So we are setting up expressions to represent both of these scenarios, okay? She signs up for a health club, right, or like a gym, go work out, and also for a rock climbing facility. And it gives us information here. It says the initial fee to sign up is $80, and then it's $50 a month. That's an expensive gym. And then this rock climbing place, it's $65 a month plus $40 a month. Or sorry, $65 initial fee to join, and then $40 a month. Sometimes you'll hear on commercials for gyms, they'll say, hey, right now we're running a special, we're running a sale so that your initial fee to sign up is free. It's $0. They're trying to get people to sign up, so they're running a sale. But a lot of times there is an initial fee to join the gym, right? So you have an initial fee, and then you have a monthly fee, which is going to continue to recur over and over and over and over every month. You will continue to owe them money.
This diagram represents the data for the ACE Health Club. It has an initial fee of $80 and a monthly fee of $50. This diagram represents the data for Rudy's Rock Climbing. It has an initial fee of $65 and a monthly fee of $40. Now write an expression for the cost of each club.
All right, so we paused it here. Let's think about what we know. I'm going to back it up here so that I can see there we go. Took those away, didn't they? Yeah, I'm going to back it up so I can just see what they gave us. All right, so let's do the ACE Health Club first. I'll do the ACE Health Club in blue. So I'm going to go over to my Jamboard. Let's clear that. And let's do the ACE Health Club here in blue. The initial fee was $80 and the monthly fee was $50. So what we're going to have is, oh, there we go. $80 plus $50 times M. I'm making M as the number of months, right? So $80 plus $50 times M. And let me show you why that works, right? You owe 80 originally, and then let's say you're a member of the club for 7 months, okay? 5 times 7 is 35, so 50 times 7 is 350. So for 7 months, you owe $350, but you also paid that initial $80 fee to join. So the total amount for 7 months would be $350 plus the $80 sign-up fee, right? Which would be $430. It's an expensive gym. But now you see how that works, right? We just if we want to know how much money we'll spend after a certain number of months, we just put in that number into the M, right? If we want to know how much for 1 year, then you just put in 12 months into the M because 12 months is in a year, right? So let me get rid of all this stuff and we'll do the rock climbing facility next. All right, so the rock climbing facility, it was $65 initial fee and a $40 a month fee. So the rock climbing facility would be 65 plus 40 times the number of months, or M, right? And you know that when we have two things next to each other with parentheses here, you know that that means times, right? We talked about that. Anytime two things are right next to each other with no sign or the parentheses, we know that that's times. 50 times the number of months. 40 times the number of months. That's what we're talking about there. Get rid of all those arrows. We don't need them anymore. So we have two expressions here that represent the cost of each one of these facilities, okay? The gym is more expensive than the rock climbing facility because the gym has a higher startup fee and the gym has a higher monthly fee. She's going to spend quite a bit of money she must really like going to the gym because she's spending all this money. Like she spends $90. That's $90 a month on joining these two gyms or joining these two fitness centers. That's a lot. My gym only costs like $25 a month. Um, Now it doesn't have a rock climbing wall and a bunch of fancy stuff, but it gets the job done. Uh, she's going to end up spending quite a bit of money here. She'll spend $90 per month, 50 for the gym and 40 for the rock climbing facility. Let's go back to the video.
Now write an expression for the cost of each club. The ACE Health Club diagram can be expressed as 80 plus 50 times M. And the Rudy's rock climbing diagram can be expressed as 65 plus 40 times M.
Which is
How
what we
can you
got.
find the total fitness cost of the health club and the rock climbing gym?
All right, so now it wants us to write an equation or an expression for her total cost. How much money in total is she going to spend joining these two facilities? Well, to do that, we really just need to combine these like terms, right? Because if we look at these, 80 and 65 are like terms. They're just regular numbers, right? They're dollars and dollars. 50 and 40, or I should say 50M and 40M are like terms because they're both M's. So what we need to do is just combine like terms. What's 80 plus 65? I want to write this in black. 80 plus 65, right? 80 plus 65 is $145. So the startup fee for both of them would be $145 total. And again, I'm just combining like terms. 80 and 65 are both numbers, and they're both positive. We don't see a sign there, so we know they're both positive. So 80 plus 65. I combine those like terms. And then we have 50M and 40M. Well, 50M plus 40M is 90M because we just add these two numbers and then reattach our coefficient. Or sorry, reattach our letter, our variable. So the total cost for her to join and maintain membership in both of these places is $145 for the startup fee plus $90 per month, right? Let's see if we got it right. Let's see if they got what we got.
You can add the expressions to find the combined cost. You can use the commutative and associative properties to group the constant and variable factors. Now, combine like terms. The expression 145 plus 90 times M can be used to determine the total cost for the health club and rock climbing gym after M months. Now you know how to add two algebraic expressions.
Right? That's stuff we've already kind of done. It was just a new way of looking at it that's a little bit more complicated. They gave us a real world scenario about combining like terms. We've already combined like terms, and you guys both did really well on that delta math assignment where you had to drag, right? You had to drag the M to be next to the other M, and then it was like 8M minus 4M. So you just did 8 minus 4 and you entered in 4M and hit submit, right? That's all that we were doing right there. It was just a real world scenario for that same problem. So let's try this, and we will check this out. We only got a couple more minutes here, but it's going to kind of display, it's going to show us the total cost, right? This is 145 plus 90M. So the number of months on this number line, we just take this number. If we want to find out how much money she will have spent, we take this number of months and we just plug it in for the M, right? 90 times 1 is 90. So 145 plus 90. See, they just plugged it right in. Not 145 plus 90 times 1, which is 90, is $235. After 2 months, 145 plus 90 times 2. 90 times 2 is 180, right? So 145 plus 180 is 325. After 3 months, same thing. They put in a 3. 90 times 3 is 270, right? So you can see the cost continues to go up. 90 times 4 is 360. plus the initial fee, which is 505. 90 times 5, right? 90 times 5 is 450. So 450 plus the startup fee is 595. You can see that this is just going up, 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 up. It's going to go up by $90 every month, right? The total number, 235 plus 90 is 325, plus 90 is 415, plus 90 is 505, because we're just adding 90 more dollars every month, right? 90 times 6 is 540 plus the startup fee, which is 685, okay? That's all we're doing. It's just plugging in the number of months into the expression for M. Do you guys have any questions over this? Anything you need to ask me about? That was the bell for the end of our class time. So I'm going to give you guys a chance to ask me a question or two. You guys have any questions about this math? Do you have any questions about school starting tomorrow? Either or. I got a nope in the chat. Nope is good. Okay. I'm going to shut down the recording here, and we will dismiss you guys. I will see you both tomorrow morning, which is great. I'll see you for second bell math, and we'll actually have real, actual, in-person, not online school tomorrow morning. I'll see you guys both at 9:20 a.m. for second bell. So look forward to it. Thanks for being here, and have a great rest of the day.